It's What's Happening, Hoke.
Hey, welcome back to the week 4 of the What's Happening Hoke Show. Hal Nunn here with my buddy Glenn Young.
What's happening, Hoke?
And we're at the Our Daily Bread Cafe in Rockfish. Our show is sponsored by Rockfish Speedway. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some key topics in Hoke County and the surrounding areas. Talk a little bit about the weather, a little bit of the news topics that are going on, and we'll talk some sports.
Controversy at the Rock of Hoke. Don't want to miss that. Larry Long's going to join us during the sports segment. Welcome back to this week's edition of the What's Happening Hoke Show. I'm Glenn Young alongside Hal Nunn.
What's up?
What we got going on in the weather?
Man, it's beautiful. We had yesterday I was at the, or a day before yesterday, I was at the Special Olympics for Hoke County. These last couple of days have been absolutely gorgeous. Outside today, I think it's about 60 degrees, 65 degrees, sunny.
It's warm.
Now there's a little cloud cover coming in this afternoon. I noticed it coming over to Rockfish, but our WRAL weather app that we use on our phones here has us at about 67% chance of rain, but Saturday and Sunday they're looking at 90% chance of rain, so it's probably going to be a wet.
It's going to be a washed out.
It's going to be a washed out weekend,
but there's no racing.
That's right. So we're off at the racetrack.
Off at the racetrack.
And the show is sponsored by Rockfish Speedway, and we do have some news at Rockfish Speedway, but we'll get to that in the sports segment.
Did you get your grass cut?
Yes, got the grass cut, got the weed and feed out.
So you need to get your grass cut today
or tomorrow. Yep.
Get your weed and feed out, because Saturday and Sunday it's going to be done.
It's going to be over. It's going to be raining. But anyway, truly Monday and Tuesday looks pretty good. So we're going to be all right there. As far as the news goes, shameless plug for the News Journal. That's my job, and I love it there very much. And there's some stories in by Catherine Shepard, our great writer. She works really hard getting some of these stories together. And one of them that they're talking about this week is the utilities out here at Rockfish, and the sewer and the water and the sewer in the county.
Now is that under Lumbee Electric?
I would think in the county it's under Lumbee River EMC, and in the city I think they were under Progress Energy or Duke Power. But Rockfish is growing. There's a lot of things going on out here. You've got the Our Daily Bread Cafe. You've got the businesses over here, the fish market and things. A lot of people are telling us that they need better sewer out here for their properties and for their business. Among other things, and some traffic issues going on. Actually, the Rockfish Community Board is meeting tonight
over at the
U-Haul building. You have to check the Rockfish Community Board. They run in the community calendar of the paper. They also put it out on the Rockfish Speedway page to let people know when those meetings are. But tonight is the 23rd. They're having a meeting at 6:30. I think they got some folks from the Department of Transportation going to come out and talk a little bit about the roads and stuff like that. It's been a big topic over the last 2 or 3 weeks, the road conditions in Hoke County.
It's getting heated. GPS will be there tonight to cover that. Watch some video and see everyone will get a chance to have their say on what the issue is. And hopefully we can get something solved. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
not just meet, but can you get something done?
And you gotta hash it out before they get out there and dig it out, I guess, on the ground. So utility work, check out the story in the paper this week. Also, there's some issues in there in reference to, of course, the Special Olympics was covered this week, and what a great time we had with the folks from the Exceptional Children's Office. They have about 140 or 150 kids out there on Raz Autry Stadium, running and jumping and just having a really good time, and it makes you feel really good to get out there and help them. We need more volunteers to help us.
Who are the main sponsors for that?
Well, they go around in the community and they seek sponsorships, they seek donations, and they seek in-kind donations. You need a lot of water,
right?
You need a lot of snacks and fruit,
a lot of
things like that.
Goes into this event.
And then they order pizzas and they have hot dogs and chips for the vendors. So they ask for donations. I don't have the list of sponsors, but they do have a program, and maybe we'll get a hold of somebody from the Exceptional Children's Office, and we'll talk to them about what all's involved.
What's involved? How can you become a sponsor? Because there's probably people out there that want to give, they just don't know how.
Hoke County Special Olympics, look it up, write a check, $2 million to Hoke County Special Olympics. Other news, there's a story in here about a gentleman starting a soup kitchen. And I've heard people talk about having one of these in Rayford for a long time. You know, we do have some homeless folks downtown. And we do probably have some in the county as well.
Yes.
And then you have some people that just don't have the capability of getting their own meals created and things like that. So there's been talk about a soup kitchen, and there's a guy that's actually growing stuff he's going to put it there, provide for it. I think that's cool.
You know, every summer when the kids get out, you always wonder about that lunchtime meal that they're no longer getting that. And hopefully this is something that will evolve and become a big staple of the community to keep people going with this. And who's in charge of the soup kitchen? Who's the guy's name?
It says the title, it's going to be off Oakdale Gin. Reverend Al Anderson is the guy in charge. So make sure
there off of Highway 20.
Yep. Make sure you check out the story about the soup kitchen in this week's paper, and patronize the paper every now and then.
Contact them. Again, this is one of those things that you want to know how to give or something you want to give to, give them a call up.
Maybe they'll help. Maybe you'll be able to help them out.
Exactly.
Another news top guy. You mentioned something about the Dogwood Festival. It's obviously not Hoke County, but people go to it.
Well, it's Cumberland County.
Yeah,
you know,
next door.
It's next door. That's our good friends and buddies down there. But
they love us over there.
I don't think they're gonna. You know, it's gonna rain. It's a great event. It's gets put on every year. The Dogwood Festival. Recommend you go down right downtown there on Hay Street. But could be a wet one this week. This year.
It could be. The Dogwood Festival is a really good thing. I've been there. I've worked at it.
Then it goes on just over the weekend or all next week too.
Well, they have events that lead up to it, but the main weekend I think is it this coming weekend?
This is opening weekend.
Okay,
sure.
opening weekend. So it'll be fun for everybody, and we want you to join there. Any other news topics? You mentioned something about the prom.
This has got to be one of the most nervous weekends for a parent. You know it, I know it. It's prom weekend for Hoke County, and please be safe. I know you're out there running around now trying to get your hair done, your makeup done, get your
nails done.
You know, hey, and guys, if she said no and you couldn't get a date, go by yourself and have fun.
Go with a buddy.
Go with a buddy.
I'll go in there and.
But I can't believe there's any girls out there that couldn't get a date.
I'd like to see you on the dance floor.
No, you wouldn't. No.
All right.
But please be safe. Please be safe.
All the kids have fun. Don't do no texting and driving.
No texting and driving. And that leads you to the state of North Carolina, Highway State Patrol put on a good show talking about Drive Alive.
Okay.
And specifically, the program talks about driving and texting, how to be safe. But most specifically, we want each teenager to police each other. You know, when mom and dad's not there, when state police is out there, you know, police each other. Hey man, don't speed, don't text.
You see your buddy doing something wrong,
exactly.
you know, kind of give him a heads up. I know it might not be the coolest thing to do, but it's the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, and we want to see you at graduation.
Yeah, we do. And that's coming up soon. We got graduation coming up in Hoke County, I think on the first week of June, so get ready for that. Any other news, hard news stuff?
Well, hard news, just, I guess, you know, and you hate to almost talk about it.
You know the kids.
But shootings is escalating, and yeah, I'm tired of seeing the same old faces. Kids you saw in the community, watch them run up and down the sideline.
Yeah.
And now they're in trouble. So I tell you what, let's just don't talk about it.
Yeah, I was talking to the sheriff, and he said it must be hard for you guys that are close to them. You know, Glenn does the video and photography for the football team and the other sports, and I used to do the PA. I think I'm switching out this year, but
you know the kids.
You know the kids. You interact with them, and then they leave high school and they get involved in these situations where it's just not cool. And we need stuff for the kids to do in the summertime to keep them busy in the evening. So hard news stuff there, and just be aware of your surroundings at home. Lock your doors, your cars. Don't leave purses laying out.
Don't make it easy for them.
Don't make it easy for people to steal stuff. When you leave the house, get you an alarm system if you can afford it, and those things can be good deterrents. Other than that, any other hard news?
Well,
the food. We got some food coming somewhere.
It's Thursday.
Okay.
It's baked spaghetti. They're working on it, and you know, it's always special here at our Daily Cafe. Come out and join. Speaking of restaurants, the Wings place is open down the center of.
Yeah, we need to go talk to him.
We're going to go down to the Wings place tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going to talk to the owner. Might want to be a sponsor. We might host a show from there as well, because everybody's excited now about the coaches show that we're going to do.
Yep.
With the upcoming football season. Yep. And spring practice, you know, kicks off on the 21st of May.
All right.
And they've got the freshman combine on the 16th of May.
Well, let's take a break and we'll come back. We'll talk a little sports. We got the legendary Larry Long from
Controversy at the Rock.
Controversy at the Rock of Hoke, and he's going to settle it up for us.
Welcome back to this week's edition of What's Happening at Hoke Show. And before we start the sports segment, Hal, we lost a great coach in the community this week over at Southview High School. Randy Ledford passed away. And again, of course, they had his homegoing celebration this week as well.
Southview Baptist Church, wasn't it, Larry?
That's exactly
where they had it at. And Randy Ledford, I'd met him several times. I'm just going to be honest. I think it was a media relationship. He was just always real short or focused on the game. I never did get to meet him in social settings or anything, but he was always polite. He always talked to me shortly before the game and not so much after the game.
There was always a heavy competition between Southview and Hoke County High School.
But I tell
quite
you
a lot of championships down there.
Yeah, I tell you what, Randy Ledford has really made an impressive mark on this community. Larry, what do you know about Randy Ledford?
I seen him play high school ball at 71st, and I'm fortunate enough to know that some of his background in regards to his religious activity. He was a great Sunday school teacher.
Oh, didn't know that.
I talked to one man, he said, I go to Sunday school just to hear Randy Ledford. So, I mean, that says a lot for a man and his religious conviction.
Yeah, and we were able, I have a sports show in Fayetteville, we were able to talk to one of his former players, Jonathan Hanna. Does that name ring a bell? I think he had offers from South Carolina and Texas Southern or somewhere else. Ended up going down there, and I think he got hurt. But now he's working in South Carolina, and he's working at a school sort of like our Turlington School, an exceptional school for alternative for kids who might need a little extra help. And he said Randy Ledford is the only reason he's doing what he's doing today.
That's what I mean. That's the kind of person he was. Yeah. He not only taught on the field, but the way he lived.
Right.
His life reflected on so many pupils and ball players, whether it's football.
It wasn't just about football.
Right. And there was one other thing that Jonathan said about Randy, and I want to mention it here. I asked him, was there one speech or one of those talks that Randy ever gave him? He said, Randy never got too high or too low. He said it didn't matter if we won by 40 or lost by 20. He was the same before the game, the same after the game, steady as a rock. So that's Randy Ledford. Rest in peace, thoughts and prayers to his family. Also, Haney Catchings, a former Hoke County assistant under Milton Butts, and E.E. Smith fame and Fayetteville State. He passed away last week, so rest in peace for them as well. And our own high school, Adele Baldwin's son, passed away this week. Brandon Baldwin, a young man, had some health issues. Adele basically was there for all three of my boys, so to the family. To
he
the
coached my
family.
son in middle school, so yes, from all of us,
Thoughts and prayers.
are with you.
And let's get on to some sports stuff, mainly the Rockfish Speedway. Glenn, you were there. What happened?
Again, this was week 2.
Okay.
Went smooth. I was on my way home maybe 8:15, maybe a little bit earlier this time. But at the end of the race, there was a controversy that went on in the Legends race. And I'm glad Larry's here to talk about it because I was sort of amped up when I looked and I walked downstairs as I was leaving the stadium and I saw this big crowd gathered around the officials. So, Larry, what was all that about?
Well, Gomez ran second to Fast Eddie Daniels out of Rayford. Of course, Gomez is defending champion.
Billy Gomez Sr. Jr. Billy Gomez Jr.
And
defending champion.
He's defending champion. He wanted to see what the shock situation was on Eddie Daniels' car.
What would he have looked at though?
Well,
if they got the right time.
I don't know what he was looking at. As long as the Inex shock.
So it's a brand.
It's a brand. It says Inex shock on it.
So does the shock make you run faster, help you corner better?
It may make you handle better.
Okay.
But it don't have anything to do with you going fast.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if your car is handling good, you can go fast.
Yeah, but
if you got
shock is not making you go.
No, I mean you got to drive the car.
So everybody's got to have Inex shocks.
That's right.
That's the legalized.
That's the way the rule said.
Mr. Gomez, after the race, first of all, Fast Eddie Daniels led the whole thing. I was there. I saw it. The guy was fast. And let me tell you this about Gomez. He may have protested the race, but he had every opportunity to knock him around.
Well, they were battling back and forth
But
the
he
whole
didn't.
race.
He raced him
whole
clean.
race. They raced clean, but they raced hard. They really
raced
did.
hard. They raced
But
it.
Larry, when you talk about a protest, which is what he did, how does that work? What makes a driver say, "Hey, I want to do a protest"? How does that work, and what could be the end results one way or another?
Well, he probably feels like maybe that other driver outran him had an unfair advantage.
Okay.
But that's not necessarily true. But, you know, that's the option. He can put up money, talk to track officials, and they'll go look at whatever the protest is about and, you know, and rule on it.
Let me add something. Maybe Larry doesn't want to add it, but you just can't have protests going everywhere. So that's why they put a fee on protests.
Right.
So if you're going to protest somebody, you got to put some money up. Now,
So
if
he
you
had
win
to
the
pay
if you win the
take the shots.
protest, you get your money back, and then whatever you protested, like Daniels would have been moved to second or last.
Yeah, what I'm saying is he had to pay Daniels.
Something. No, the track.
He has to pay the
The
track.
inspector, man.
The inspector.
Because he's got to
Now,
go out there and tear
the
the
inspector
thing.
takes the shock off,
Yep.
or okay, so
Looks at
the
it.
inspector goes out, takes the shock off, brings it over. It's our next shot.
Looks
It's legal.
legit. Looks
It's
legit.
legit,
He loses that money,
and that's it.
and then that's it. The race stands.
That's it, and that's the way it wound up.
So
you know.
you think these guys are obviously going to be going back and forth? the
I
whole
have
season.
no doubt.
This is a story you want to keep an eye on.
Right. It's-
Hey, they say controversy sell tickets, right?
There you go. Hey,
We have a
I'm gonna
controversy.
be right there to see it.
But
too.
let me tell you, it was a clean controversy because
Oh, it was a clean race. It was a clean race. It wasn't too much heated, but when you see a gathering crowd, you're like, okay, what's going on? You normally gravitate to that way. And I did see the shock in his hand, so well, he's got a shot. So I turned to
What's he
Larry,
gonna
he
do,
said,
hit
well,
him
he said he's got to pay to take that off. He's launched a
Okay.
protest. I said,
All
okay. So that's what that
All right, give us the rundown. Let's see. So Eddie Daniels won the Legends
Week
Series.
2 racing, yeah.
Week 2 at Rockfish Speedway. Eddie Daniels won the race. Gomez came in second, and who else came in third, fourth?
Mike McDonald was third in Brian's Torn Ride, and Tyler Kushner, a rookie in this division out of Grays Creek, ran the fourth spot in the points. We got a tie for that top spot now. And then the Daniels in one victory, and Billy Gomez didn't win the win, so there's a tie. That'll make the Gregory McCoy Triple 100 our next event on May 2nd. That'll make it interesting. They'll come in there deadlocked in that points battle.
Oh, if you want to see a race in the Legends, if you want to see a race, Rockfish Speedway on May 2nd, watch the Legends race.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be
But
impressed. Plus, you got a couple.
I love the 600. The 600, don't slip on. That was a dominant on that. Larry, who won the 600? Mark
Mark Jones,
Jones.
Right.
Now, you want to talk about from flag to pole,
flag to flag.
from flag to flag, however you want to talk about it. He dominated.
He
He
definitely
came here
did.
out of Mooresville,
No, he's from Rockfish.
Rockfish. He's from Rockfish. Okay.
Yeah, and he outran Fred Prosperity the
And the
third,
number 5 car.
and Tim Atkins out of Winston-Salem was third, and Josh Smith from Somerville, South Carolina.
Somerville, South Carolina. He made it.
15-year-old guy, he's doing good.
15-year-old kid.
And that's
Well, I
why
should say
he's been in the top
15-year-old young man.
This class has more people from out of the area than it does in the area. That
Right.
should tell you something.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we brought it home. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, you always want to root for the home guy.
Ray
There you
Rockfish, Mark Jones.
And Jason Brown was 5, so another good day of action for the 600.
Two tops and points.
Mark Jones, he is a young man who didn't have a great season last year, but he's off to a good one this year. He went flag to flag here, and Glenn kind of like that.
Yeah, he dominated.
Yeah,
Number 5 car.
yeah,
He's a hometown guy.
that's it.
Racer.
That's
Rockfish.
what counts.
And Fred Prosperity, the third, was in number 2 spot. And they're tied, actually, for the top spot in the points. And the young man out of Winston-Salem made the trip down. Tim Atkins was third. 15-year-old driver Josh Smith from Somerville, South Carolina was 4, and Jason Brown was 5.
We got more people from out of town in that series,
Yeah.
don't we?
Well,
They love the racetrack.
They must love the rock and
You
roll.
gotta have a passion for it, I tell you that.
The other top series is the 270 micros. The 270 micros is one of the most fascinating ones because there's so many people involved. Andrew Yoko gets the win, Andy Cardinal get the win from the Pawley Island, South Carolina. So how do you see that division shaking out this year?
This is going to be real interesting, man. I don't know who's gonna win this thing. It's gonna be interesting. Andrew Yako is leading the points by 6 over Matt Jones. But the young guns are still in the hunt. Look here. Dale Trotter moving up out the go-kart ranks, and Bill McCall both are up in the top 5. They're tied for 4th.
So they crossed the race go-karts last year.
And they're moving up. Yeah, they're moving up.
All right, we got 2 other divisions at Rockfish Speedway, the mini pros and the pro go-karts. And it was a fun time for me to see Brownie and his son racing together, and actually a young 10-year-old took him to the woodshed.
Yeah, he did, and they'll probably turn that around when we come back May 2nd. But Levi got the win for the mini pros. Kim Oxendine, young lady driver, was 2nd. Eric McDonald was 3rd. And the pros, Josh Gomez Motorsport taking the win over Chester Beeman, and Brownie was 3rd. And we got a tie for the points here between Brownie and Chester Beeman. They both have over 46 points. So we're trying to keep the points so it'll stay interesting. And see, when you got it in increments of 2, I mean, you can miss a race and still, you won't lose that many points. Because once the points get out of hand, a lot of people say, well, I ain't got a chance to win the championship, right?
Yeah.
So,
But Levi Brown, that's one of my favorites. Now, so he's 2 weeks in a row. He said he would win it.
He did.
He did. So, man, it was a word. So.
Last week was the Ashley Heights Sand 100. Next race coming up May 2nd is going to be the Gregory Pool Equipment 100.
That's
it. May 2nd, what time's the gates open?
We'll have the gate 2 o'clock. 4 o'clock we start practicing heat racing, and we're racing by 5:30.
All right.
Weather will be broken up by then. So.
Right.
Yeah.
All the clouds.
So good thing there's no racing this weekend because it's going to be
It's
wet.
going to be wet. But also, while we got you on here, I want to ask a little bit about the NFL football.
Oh yeah.
You know, the schedules came out this week, and the Carolina Panthers got a couple of games you need to mark on your schedule. Number 1 is you need to mark down when the Panthers play the Philadelphia Eagles, the Earl Wolf Philadelphia Eagles in Charlotte. And the second one is when the Panthers go all the way to Dallas to play the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving Day.
But you told me they were playing somebody before that.
That's right. And that will be on the Sunday before they go to Dallas. They'll be playing the young man from Jack Britt and Xavier Nixon.
Ooh, and the
Remember him well.
Remember him too well.
Yeah, he signed with the Skins, of course,
Jack Britt.
over the last 3 or 4 months.
Stand out. Yeah, I remember him well.
He's a tough one, but
He took Hoke County to the woodshed. I know that.
the Skins are coming to Charlotte. The Eagles are coming to Charlotte. The Carolina Panthers are going to
And
Dallas.
everybody's rooting against the Cowboys.
Yeah, ABC,
Cowboy fans.
ABC, anybody but the Cowboys.
Adrian Peterson is back.
Adrian Peterson's back, and Greg Hardy went traded to picked up by Dallas, suspended by the NFL, and then on his first game back, he's going to be playing the Panthers. Boy, how it works out.
Hey, that's what we call selling tickets.
That's selling them tickets. It's about like the protest at Rockfish Speedway.
Sales tickets. I'll tell you what, let's give a plug to a young man who's trying to break back in the NFL, Tim Tebow.
Tim
Kim
Tebow.
People signed Divine Intervention.
Divine Intervention. The Eagles
I
going all
like
the way.
him. He's a great person, and hey, I hope he makes it. I really
Eagles
do.
going
He's a
all the
number
way
3
till they beat
quarterback,
the
so what? Yeah.
That would be a tough call for me, either the Eagles or the Panthers. We'll have to see how it turns out.
Well, I'm always rooting for Earl Wolf.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that now. But I may not always be rooting for the Eagles. 'Cause they made some power moves.
He can
this
get
year.
3 or 4 interceptions, but they lose, right?
Exactly. That's it. And I don't want him to get burnt for the winning touchdown.
No.
That's
We don't want him to get burned any. Anyway, Hoke County High School is playing baseball Friday night at home. I think it's against Scotland. Big game for the softball team. They're doing very well. I think it has playoff implications. And
We had some kids qualify for the state track meet. So yeah, check them out.
we're going to get
Follow the
Stan
Hoke County
Calendar on
sports.
the camera.
We're gonna have to.
We might have to get a new camera.
That'll be a lot of fun. If you
What's
get
the deal
Stan
on the
Calendar.
coaching vacancies in the Ready Gate?
Well, obviously, we had talked about Randy Ledford passing away, so there's a vacancy there at Southview.
Southview.
I personally think they need to hire from within at Southview because of the situation.
Yeah.
They need to have somebody come in there and get them
What
over.
about Richmond?
Now, Richmond County, I think they should do what Pinecrest did. I think they should put up a national search and bring in somebody from the outside to run that program.
Now, okay, so why would you want a national search on Richmond and not one on Southview?
Well, Southview's delicate situation because of the death of the coach, the
Okay.
sudden death of the coach.
So you're saying they need a coach that knows the players that's already within?
That's what I
Okay, I got you. But I don't want to lose any of our coaches.
No,
You
no,
know,
no.
'cause I mean,
We could. We got a good little
you
nucleus.
you got a great nucleus, and you always want to see your assistants get a head coaching job. I know Tom Paris
Wait a
feels
little
the
bit.
same
We
way.
need a couple years
But,
under the belt.
yeah, you don't want to lose yours, you know. But that's just it's going to be an exciting season of high school football.
We're gonna have a coaches show for you this fall, so be on the lookout for that. Anything else?
We'll be on the road tomorrow. We're going to the new wings place that opened up in Rayford. Might be hosting a coaches show from there, but it's definitely coming. Everybody's excited about it, so stay tuned for the What's Happening at Hoke show.
You got
I'm
something?
Glenn Young. Yeah, and I have my spaghetti.
All right.
Baked spaghetti at the Our Daily Bread Cafe every Thursday. This Thursday special. We'll check you out next week. For Larry Long and Hal Nunn, I'm Glenn Young. Having some baked spaghetti.
Have a good
Take
evening.
care.
Have a good weekend.